Hello students, welcome to Reno's Englishpedia. Today we are going to do the last poem in the book Flamingo. The name of the poem is Aunt Jennifer's Tigers by Adrienne Rich. After a study of this poem, you will be able to understand the real world. You will also develop empathy for the plight of exploited and suppressed women. You should also be able to recognize the other options available instead of living a stressed life. Adrienne Rich was born on May 16, 1929, and she died on March 27, 2012. Professionally, she was an American poet, essayist, and feminist. She was one of the most widely read and influential poets of the second half of the 20th century. She was credited with bringing the oppression of women to the forefront of poetic discourse. The main theme of this poem is the domination of women. Women are oppressed and suppressed by the men in the society. They are terrorized by their husbands. This poem brings out the evils of a patriarchal system as evident in the gender discrimination that women are subjected to. Aunt Jennifer in this poem represents the entire female world. This poem is divided into three quatrains. The first quatrain of the poem begins with the lines Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. Aunt Jennifer, through her art that is embroidering, has created an alternate world of freedom in which she lives only in imagination. Over here, both the tiger and hunter coexist and neither intend any harm to the other. She finds comfort by escaping to her make believe world through her art. However, she fails to liberate herself even in this make believe world. This make believe world is the panel of tigers jumping freely, elegantly, and majestically all over the screen. They are the fearless inhabitants of the world. Symbolically, the tigers represent the freedom enjoyed only by men all over the world. They also represent Aunt Jennifer's desire to live a life of freedom. However, she can never taste this freedom as she is bound and restricted by her husband. The first stanza thus highlights Aunt Jennifer's fears. The second quatrain of the poem begins with the lines Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. The second stanza highlights Aunt Jennifer's implied slavery. She is so highly burdened and terrified by the band of matrimony that she finds it hard to pull even the ivory needle through the wool. This fear of her husband, even in his absence, shows that she dreads him completely and is overpowered by him. The poem ends with the quatrain When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mustered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. This stanza talks about her ordeals in life and continued slavery even after her death. It reveals the bitter truth that even death will fail to release Aunt Jennifer from the chains of servility which have bound her during her lifetime. The tigers representing male authority and also Aunt Jennifer's deepest desire to be free will remain unchanged. That is, they will always be free and prancing. This poem is very easy to understand, but it makes use of many symbols. It is important to understand these symbols because only then will we understand the true meaning of the poem. The first and the most important symbol used here is that of a tiger. It symbolizes terror and oppression of the female. It is also a symbol of freedom of spirit, which Aunt Jennifer desires. These tigers are denizens of a world of green, means that they are inhabitants of the jungle. Bright topaz refers to the bright yellowish brown color of the tiger's skin. The words pace in sleek chivalric certainty implies that the tigers move elegantly, stealthily, majestically, and courageously. They are certain about their purpose in life and are gallant and confident. The fluttering wool is a symbol of extensive oppression. The women are so victimized and oppressed that Aunt Jennifer's fingers cannot even carry the weight of something as light as wool. Struggle with ivory needle implies the loss of her individual identity and her terrorized state of mind under the weight of Uncle's domination. And finally, Uncle's wedding band is a symbol of suppression of Aunt Jennifer in matrimony by custom and law. The wedding band also symbolizes the so-called male authority and dominance. For men, women are no more than mere possessions. At last, the term ringed with ordeals means that even after her death, Aunt Jennifer will be wearing the ring on her hand. This is a band by which she was suppressed throughout her life, and now, even after death, she will remain oppressed. There are many literary devices used in the poem. The first literary device that we will discuss is alliteration. Please remember that alliteration is the repetition of the same sound and not the same alphabet. Therefore, the words certainty and chivalric, although they begin with the alphabet C, are not alliteration. Instead, there is alliteration in the term sleek and certainty. There is repetition of the s sound. Similarly, fingers fluttering, there is repetition of f sound, and in the words prancing and proud, there is repetition of the p sound. Again, anaphora has been used in the words they do not and they pace in. Anaphora is the use of the same word in two consecutive lines. The literary device metaphor has been used to describe the yellow color of the tigers. The literary devices transferred epithet and synecdoche have been used in the term terrified hands. In transferred epithet, an epithet that means an adjective is transferred from its rightful place to a word closely associated with it. This means that it was Aunt Jennifer who was terrified and not her hands. Similarly, in synecdoche, either a part is used to represent the whole or the whole is used to represent a part. In that ways, hands is used to represent the whole of Aunt Jennifer. The rhyme scheme used throughout the poem is AABB. With this, we come to the end of our poem. I hope that you liked the video. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to Reno's Englishpedia. Thank you.